Hey guys, just this is my little mixed reality setup for Medium. My light's a little bit funny in here, it's sort of dim and bright. So yeah, it's super fun. The mixed reality for Medium is amazing. The mic on the iPhone's a little bit funny, so it might sound a little bit washed out. So yeah, this camera here will sort of capture sort of like what my movements are in VR, and then the main camera up here will be for like capturing on screen. So sort of bear with me with the two sets of cameras. And then also there's the Oculus mirror, which Oculus mirror will be sort of taking what's going on inside your headset, because there's a couple of things I need to show about where to put your panels, like your viewing panels, like OBS and things like that, inside Medium. So yeah, okay. So first thing is OBS. So OBS is Open Broadcast Software. Those things are usually that software is free and it's open source. That. No. Sorry. Wrong one. Display capture, right click filters, add a crop pad here. Crop this left. This whole control down, yeah, control down does it a bit quicker. So we'll just push this in and capture that up. Alright. Okay, so in OBS, there's a couple of things I've got here. So one is an older capture device, which is, sorry, that's my current capture device, which is my video webcam. I have the game capture, which is medium, so I can call this. So we can call this medium. I think we can call it rename. So medium. Window capture is rename this to Oculus mirror. Display capture is that's pretty much what it is. Window capture 2 is nothing. Okay. Images in one. Alright, so with Medium, what we want to do is we want to look at the filter, and in here there's a chroma key and a crop pad. The reason why I use a crop pad is sometimes how big the window is, I can sort of crop Medium in and out. But the chroma key is the most important part, which is you want to add a color, and if you select the color, you want to just take note of the values, which is the green 159 and the blue 255. So that's really all it is, and there's a little bit of spill you can check later. And the video capture, which is in general the webcam, that's really got only a couple of filters, which is like a crop pad, because my webcam's pretty, it's like a 4x3 crop pad, 4x3 webcam, and a bit of color correction on that. Alright, so first up I'm going to start medium. Right, so let's jump in. Okay. Okay. So in here, I'm just going to turn on the mirror capture, Oculus mirror, and that is over here. Good. Minimize that. No, can't minimize it. Okay. You can't minimize it. Alright, so this is my virtual desktop, obviously in Oculus, and I'm just going to hit medium, start medium. There's a couple of things I do now, which is what makes it really easy, or makes it heaps easier. And if my voice goes robot, I've got two backups, right? There's one that lift. No, okay. So mediums here. Just check that. It's all good. And we're going to nudge that to the left. So we get a full 1080 screen, and also just move it over. That sits nicely, okay. And put the mirror back up on top. Okay. So in Oculus, just change my perspective again on view. So in here, we need to add a panel, which is OBS Studio. We need to pin it in Oculus itself. If you see there, if I hide the virtual desktop and that panel, you'll see that this view is pinned inside Medium. So I pin it down here to the right hand side, pin, and I pin it sort of in view. So once that's done, you want to switch your key on your controller, like your Oculus key, back into Medium. So now you're in Medium. You can draw, sketch, and sculpt and things like that. All good. If we have a look, we'll see there's our camera, there's our layer stacks, and everything else. And what we want to do first is we want to excuse my notifications. What we want to do first is in world, I want to change the settings, and I'm going to change the background color. And our settings for the background color were 255 by 159. Okay. So that's the light blue. We want to just change the background plane to blue. Background to blue, and that's a really good thing. That's the best way to start. Now, if we go back into virtual desktop, we can see here that what I'm going to do now is turn off the Oculus mirror, and we'll see that Medium is sort of above our screen, and we turn Oculus mirror back on. Right, so inside Medium, what you want to do is click your capture video here, and you want to switch this to desktop preview. Don't worry about the rest of that. You just want to turn that off and leave it running. Turn off Oculus Mirror for a second, and then put Medium above capture device. And let's just check the Chroma key filter. One second. We have to do this. So I'm just going to check the Chroma key filter in filters. Chroma key. Yes. 255. That's fantastic. Close. Okay, I had a bit of red. I'm sorry. Okay, so you just have to make sure that that background color is 255 by, so green is 159, blue is 255, and red is 0. That brings everything back. Alright. Now this camera, this is where the important part comes. So right now my my controllers are all wacky. There's a couple of things we need to do. I think the first thing we need to do is grab this camera here. And to bring, I usually just bring it really close and put it up and look through my eye, like underneath my headset, which is a bit clunky. Let's see everybody's nose. It's about there, so you want to sort of point the center of the control in the center of the screen. Like that. Right. And you can check your controllers. This controller is on the left hand side, this is on the right hand side. So what we need to do now is go to display capture, transform, flip horizontal, turn off that. Now this controller's on this side and this is on this side, and that's what you want, right? You want to keep that flip. Now as you can see, as I move around, the camera and everything's moving with it. We want to just check the field of view. And also we need to go back to the camera, capture video, and change it to world. So now I did something wrong. The reason why it's wrong is I got confused. Transform, flip horizontal, turn off mirror, back to there. Now this is on the right side and this is on the left side. If you look at this, what I do in Medium here, right, is this camera, and up here I choose the manipulation and I clear out on world, switch it to world here. Can we flip? Oh, okay, sure. So in world, I switch this from scene origin to world, and then I change it to rotation, and I clear out the Y and the X. And I kind of leave the Z where it is because that's its like rotation around. With that, I just check my controllers again, move this out of the way, check my controllers, still out. You can move this camera in and out kind of thing, but it's actually more to do with your field of view. So if you change the field of view, you want to sort of make it so they're pretty big, like close to what you are in shot, and you want to move the camera up a little bit or down. And you want to try and get your controllers to be either between you, like between the two controllers. So that's pretty close. And then maybe there's a little bit of rotation on the camera itself. It's getting pretty close. It's getting pretty close. Oh, it's a finicky part, that one. So that's pretty good. Like that, I'm pretty happy with that. We turn that off, like it's pretty close, but we can make that even tighter by just checking it like this. Alright, and that's a field of view issue. So we go field of view. Where's that? Good. Back here. Just something that we can probably make it a bit tighter. So if I can explain what I'm doing in Medium from its perspective, maybe I can. Okay, so in Medium I'm grabbing the camera. You'll see it's a little bit dimmed out because the alpha transparency doesn't necessarily fit. I'm grabbing the manipulators on the left and the right, and I'm moving them up and down, right? So turn that off. So here, just check that again. Left is good, but the right isn't. So just move that in. There's a further view. I prefer it to be there. Yeah, that's pretty close. Like, yeah, that's close. That's good. It's tight. So with that, what we want to do is just switch off the video preview here. You don't need to see that, and also switch on the mirror. That's where you've got the mirror here, and then start to sculpt out just how you feel comfortable. And obviously with your layer shader, you can switch it to metal. Switch it to metal here. It's actually a really, really interesting way of explaining medium and training, especially that the menus are they're basically flipped on the other side. So I can show a setting here on screen. Yeah, so change that to a little bit of metal, affect the roughness a bit, trying to make it shinier. And the next little trick which I did was I grabbed my light here, and in my scene I have a light just above me, right? It's literally above me. And if I grab that light and put it here, then things are lit as in how I see fit, right? You can see on this camera here, over on the left-hand corner, I have a little lamp. You can also add a new light to the scene with this, and I can turn it into a point light and sort of push it across over into my scene over there, and maybe change the value of that as well. And it can sort of act a bit like another light in the scene, but no shadows, right? So there you go, you get that, and then just sort of punch out and start to run with it. And that's really what the best part of this is the interesting thing I found was when you get comfortable, you can start to feel how to display sculpts to the viewer. And I guess that's the most important part. This is what this is all about, is how do you show your shape language and shape form in Medium to the viewer on screen. So yeah. Seem to drop good up there, but they could not go down there. Maybe it's just a view angle. So yeah, that's how you set up mixed reality, and hope it's helpful. You'll probably walk into a whole new craft not far away. And I think that the best part about what happened yesterday was, if you were designing something, right, for, like, if it was a gauntlet for an arm, like I showed yesterday, you can literally grab it on your hand and check the way it sort of feels in shot, or if it's a piece. So I found that really interesting, because you can basically just design armor pieces and plates however you see fit, and see how that looks. And if it was all you know, sort of making lost in the moment here. If you had, it's not mirror, so that could also do a gauntlet type design where it was more like your hand or sculpted like a hand, you know. And I think that could probably work if you were, like, say, let's say you just delete all that, undo all that. Let's say you were grabbing a piece and you wanted to see if that, like, shoulder guard was working. You could sort of put your fashion shoulder guard out and then sort of place it on and check what that looks like. I mean, you can potentially, like, sort of hold it in place and then hold your controller and check it like that, and it's all basically like your practical effects design. You know, you've got to maybe make it looks better like that, so it kicks out like that, and check it as a garment piece. Like, I find that sort of stuff really interesting. Is you're almost sculpting, you know, AR. That's pretty cool. And obviously you want to clip that up to move, have movement for your arm up and down. So that stuff's interesting. I find that really cool. Yeah, other than me rambling on about bizarre things to do with sculpting, that's mixed reality, and I hope it helped. It's a little bit finicky to set up at the start, but once you get it, like, that's what I would do right now. Is I would save this scene. I would just delete everything in it. One sec. Delete. So you've got you want to do a couple of things. So the first thing you want to do is you can grab your world, the scene origin here, and you want to grab, let me see if I can try and show you this stuff. So at the moment, this little situation here, which is you've got a fresh layer, a mirror plane, and a lathe. But what you want to do, right, is you want to do a couple of things. I'm actually getting pretty cold right now. My air conditioner's freezing. What you want to do is change your manipulation, and in your manipulation, you've got a rotation here, and we want to change this out to be 1 second. So scene origin is 0 because the scene origin is the grid, but world, which is, you want to 0 out the rotation of that, and you want to check your world transform and 0 that out. And if you turn on the ground plane for your world here, settings, ground plane, you'll notice that this little situation here is in the center of your scene. So it's in the center of the world of medium and in the center of the scene origin of medium. And those things are really important, especially for exports. Another quick note with the grid is that place in the center of the grid here, this is 0. And that's really important for exports. For mirror plane, you can reset your mirror plane like that and all those kind of things. So just turn it off and save the scene. Save those. Call this let's go into personal. Save. And you've saved it. So hopefully if you don't move your camera and don't change your settings in OBS, then it's all going to set up pretty quickly the next time you jump in. Awesome, thank you.